Okay, yeah, that didn't look balanced to me. What's up, guys? IWillDominate here from Cloud9. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the overarching changes to the game in Season 11 from Season 10, and what is going to be going on with Mythics, and a lot of the things that should not be changing throughout the system of League of Legends going into the next season. The meta right now is actually pretty interesting, and there's a lot of items that were perceived to be weak at first that are now being seen in a lot of the in-houses that I've been watching, as well as competitive. So Graves obviously has just been one of the most dominant junglers for a while now, and people have been trying to figure out how to make him work. People were on the Eclipse grind for a while, but now what people seem to enjoy building the most on Graves is Gale Force, which is one of the mythic items that seems to work best on him. The dash reset on Graves is actually super nice because you already have a dash in. If you go something like Phase Rush combined with your E, combined with the Gale Force, it's really easy for you to close distance onto people. It's one of the reasons why Kindred is being seen a lot, because everyone's just trying to figure out, hey, what's OP right now? And the item that people think is the best right now is Gale Force. So the fact that Kindred and Graves can both build it, and they are already strong junglers previously, means that you're going to get a lot of really interesting builds coming out from junglers. So another item that we're seeing a decent amount is Rift Maker. So Rift Maker was not intended to be a item that is good on everyone, but what it seems to be is that most mage champions would prefer having the Vamp than a lot of the other items. So champions like Lilia, who everyone thought would be a Leandri's champion because of the innate synergy that she had with the old Leandri's, ended up having a lot of variety in her build because of the fact that the mana is not as useful on her as it is on other champions. Lots of different builds that we're seeing, but one of the builds I think people have settled on the most is the Rift Maker Lilia for all the sustain, which kind of plays into the systemic changes that have happened to the game, where Ravenous Hunter got changed from spells healing you to having a Omnivamp component, which essentially nerfed the healing of Ravenous Hunter on spells, but buffed it on auto attacks. When I did the intro, I talked about systemic changes. One of those systemic changes was that CDR no longer exists in the literal sense. So here, as you can see, I don't have 15 CDR, I actually have 15 ability haste. So the way that it works is ability haste just allows you to cast your abilities more often, but it's not actually reducing your cooldown reduction directly. When you have 15 ability haste, you only have 13% cooldown reduction, and essentially the more ability haste you have, the less efficient it actually gets. So like, let's say you have 100 ability haste, I believe that's only actually 50% CDR as compared to other builds where you would stack a ton of CDR, and that's why it had to be capped. So far, my own experience has been that unless you're trying to really build ability haste, like as a tank champion, it's harder to come by than it used to be. The big question that people have here is, how are these changes going to affect the competitive scene? I think the strongest junglers are still going to see play just because of the fact that they all have mythic items and synergize as well. But it's really interesting to see if any of the other items that aren't used as much could bring champions into viability. I've been trying a lot of stuff myself personally, like Stridebreaker Rek'Sai, Prowler's Claw Rek'Sai. I mean, obviously I play the champion a lot, so I've been trying to figure out easy adaptations for that. In the limited competitive play we've had, we've seen, I think, about 5 different mythics on Lilia. If not, it's been 4 at least, where you have Night Harvester, Rift Maker, Leandri's, and then some people are even going crazy and going Ludens. Coming into spring, we're gonna have some really strange picks just emerge that one person figures out, maybe in solo queue, and it just starts taking over the scene. I think there's a lot of stuff that's gonna come out that people haven't thought about before. Okay, so we are into the game here. I'm going to be doing a little rundown of Season 11, but while playing a game this time. I'm going to be playing Echo during this game. I think that Echo is actually pretty decent right now. They ended up going through with a massive Echo buff on the most recent patch. I am playing on 1025B is the patch that I'm currently playing on at the time of recording this video. Going to be going with Red Smite this game because of the assassins on the enemy team. Essentially the fact that they have a Zed and a Nocturne means that it's definitely something I want to do. Looking for a stun, hit the stun. This is going to be a free kill. And I ended up getting it. That's super good that we ended up starting the game with first blood. Should almost never have it. We saw Nami walk into the bush and we're able to land a stun on him, which is really important. And yeah, I guess the first purchase that we'll go for here is Dark Seal. I think that it's probably the best thing that I could buy. On this base, I have magical footwear, so can't go boots. Yeah, we're actually going to be going a little bit of a different build that many people might not be fully acclimated to, which is Nashor's Tooth on Echo. It's kind of the new build that people are going for, and it's been pretty popular in solo queue, so let's try it out. Actually clearing so fast with the Dark Seal that I don't even need to use W on this camp. So I'm going to cast my W here. I'm going to auto it once to reset where the crab is going, and then I'll W. No point of popping my passive until the W lands because it's going to break the shield. Don't want to waste any damage when doing crab like this. This is going to be an interesting purchase from a lot of people's standards. Stun. And he's dead, so go for the flash on mid. Ended up landing his stun. Just looked like it was going to land, so we went for it. Now we're going to look top lane. Okay. I have my mid laner here so I can walk in. Didn't have my W or anything, but we'll just get this and we'll be fine. Dead. That's the 3-0 Echo. Okay, so we're gonna get to our Nashor's Tooth really early, which is what makes kind of these types of experiments a little bit more difficult. Because I'm gonna hit my Nashor's Tooth so early in the game, it's hard to know, like, is it because I'm so far ahead that the Nashor's Tooth feels so good, or is it because the item is so good? So that's why you require a lot of testing to know if these builds are actually as efficient or as good as they seem. We're coming mid, he's getting engaged on. Let's see if we can land a Q here maybe. See if we can help our teammate here. Dead. I have ult still, we'll be fine. The thing about Nashor's Tooth is because of like the way they changed the item. I mean, the 100 AP is actually so much. It's as much, or it's actually more than some mythic items even. So that's the logic is you go for an item like that, even though it doesn't grant your mythic passive on your second one. As long as you build a mythic second, it could be pretty good in general. 1, 2. Okay. Okay. There's gonna be a guy here. Zed here. And we heal. Alright, we're out. Nice. 10 stacks on a Dark Seal that we somehow started with at level 1. Excellent. And we got Dragon. Could not be going better. Okay, so I'm going to go for this, and then I'm going to go Hextech Alternator next, if I can find it in the shop. And yeah, this is going to be the item that we go for here. We have Nashor's Tooth plus a Hextech Alternator, and we are going to see, once we have the protocol completed, how the Nashor's Tooth feels, but it appears that this Yuumi is just attached to me. He sees that I'm super strong within the game, and he's just typing jungle diff in all chat and flaming the enemies because it's solo queue. Essentially, we could just play a little bit for fun now and just abuse this super OP Nashor's Tooth. And it just feels kind of ridiculous that I have 300 AP at 13 minutes. I mean, obviously, I'm absurdly fed for the game state, but realistically, like, having this much AP this early feels really nice. I mean, the 100 AP from Nashor's Tooth sounds good to me. I was thinking about R-ing there, but probably not worth. he's dead. I assume. Dead. That's fine, we got the flash. No point in dying with a huge shutdown here. Nocturne can move. Okay, let me just base. Item feels pretty good so far. Got my proto belt now, and this is where it becomes really fun to play the game with all these new items. And Nash's Tooth is essentially just used to help clear the jungle, but now I have enough damage with proto belt to probably one-shot people if I get on them. So let's see. Looks pretty disgusting, to be honest. Feeling pretty good about this new build. Okay. I think I just griefed really hard. This doesn't matter. I guess I'm just so fed it doesn't matter that I'm trolling. Cool. Imperial Mandate's actually huge too. Imperial Mandate is super broken right now. Essentially, you can proc it yourself if you get a Rylai's, is what people have noticed. But just the damage, the initial damage doesn't have a cap on it, so it's super, super strong. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that didn't look balanced to me. But yeah, you've got to just kind of adjust to the new items because they do a lot of things that might not seem as obvious to you, and one of them is the proto belt movement speed. So there I used proto belt to generate enough movement speed that I could run directly at the Nami and just one-shotter. Yeah, and then I guess the build here would be more AP. You'd be going death cap here. This is more of a sustained like shredding build than it is just pure burst with Lich Bane. Alright, well, hopefully that showcased some of the new items, new mythics, new things that you can do in this game. Obviously, preseason game's not the most competitive. League is definitely looking a lot more interesting this year with a lot of adjustments across the board. Remember to keep tuning in as we get deeper into the season, and thanks for watching.